Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS news for Friday, March 10. Thousands of Jamaicans will soon be paying less for property tax, while government implements measures to collect billions of dollars in outstanding amounts. Finance Minister Audley Shaw made the announcement as he opened the 2017-2018 budget debate in Parliament yesterday. Simone Wolfe has more in this report.
The new property tax regime, which takes effect on April 1 this year, will lower tax rates while broadening the taxable base. Highlights include calculating property tax liabilities based on the 2013 valuation roll and cutting rates from the current range of 1.5 to 2% down to 0.8 to 1.3%. At the same time, a $1,000 flat rate will now apply to properties valued at $400,000 or less, moving from the current benchmark of $200,000 or less.
Under the new regime, 27.1% or 210,512 property owners will actually be paying less property taxes.
The finance minister announced that lower tax liabilities will also be levied on strata corporations.
Currently, such properties are taxed on the basis of the total unimproved value of the entire parcel of land, which is then apportioned to each strata lot accordingly. The new rationale, which will be used to ensure equity, will apportion the value of each strata lot according to its unit entitlement. So in other words, a one-bedroom, a studio, will pay less than the three-bedroom or four-bedroom.
Notwithstanding these measures, government expects to earn an increased property tax revenue of $3.93 billion by broadening the taxable base through increasing the number of property tax bands from 3 to 9. Those funds will contribute to filling government spending deficit for the 2017-2018 fiscal year. The National Housing Trust will also provide $11.4 billion to help fund the budget, while a $13.5 billion tax package will earn the remainder. It includes increased special consumption tax SCT on fuel effective March 15 and on alcoholic beverages and tobacco products effective March 13. In addition, general consumption tax GCT is to be applied on premiums for group health insurance, while a 15% withholding tax will be reimposed on general insurance premium paid by Jamaican residents to non-residents.
If you're buying insurance in Jamaica, you'd have to pay GCT. And if you're buying insurance from a foreign company, this requirement was removed a couple of years ago. Well, we want fairness across the board.
The finance minister also announced an across-the-board 20% increase on motor vehicle licenses and allied fees, and a reduction in the threshold for domestic electricity usage that attracts GCT from 350 to 150 kilowatt hours per month. Minister Shaw says this will not apply to most JPS customers.
61% of the customers of the Jamaica Public Service Company use under 150 kilowatt hours per month.
Simone Wolfe reporting for JIS News.
In the meantime, the finance minister has announced that the government will be establishing a dedicated financial services consumer protection agency to protect customers from unfair banking practices. Minister Shaw says technical assistance from the United States has already been requested.
I expect, Mr. Speaker, that this agency will be established by the end of this fiscal year 2017-18.
This agency is being developed in the wake of public complaints about high banking fees and charges. That includes charges on dormant accounts, money which the banks also lend to borrowers at substantial interest rates. While the Consumer Protection Agency is being established, Minister Shaw says the Bank of Jamaica is being instructed to strengthen the code of conduct for banks.
To ensure that there is a common definition and standards on the treatment of dormant accounts, that the main provisions of banking standards contained in the code are given more publicity in banks, and that a simplified version is routinely made available to customers at the time of opening an account. Customers must know their rights.
The Student Loan Bureau, SLB, will be reducing its interest rates on loans for selected areas. The announcement was also made in yesterday's opening of the budget debate.
On a pay-as-you-study loans, interest rates will be lowered from 9.5% to 6%. On postgraduate loans, interest rates will move from 13% to 9.5%. And Mr. Speaker, for study in areas like maritime and logistics, agriculture, engineering, and ICT, interest rates will decline from 9.5% to 6%.
As part of other measures to enhance Jamaica's human capital development, the finance minister also announced that the Heart Trust will this year accelerate its training program for unattached young people. This, he says, will give the young people a second chance to acquire marketable skills.
Mr. Speaker, all 63 constituencies will be targeted this year for an initial 100 young people per constituency to be trained under this program.
In other news, government has signed a non-binding Memorandum of Understanding for the first phase of plans to develop Government Circle at the National Hero Circle. The first of the two-phase project will involve the conceptualization and design of a model for the new Parliament and Government Offices Oval Zone. China State Construction Engineering Corporation's North American subsidiary, China Construction America, will provide technical consultancy services for the project. The Urban Development Corporation will act as project managers responsible for the architectural and conceptual design of Government Circle. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the project is the start of great things for Jamaica.
The idea is to use this project as the catalyst for the regeneration, revitalization of this great asset that we have, downtown Kingston.
The redevelopment plan involves the construction of a new Parliament building, a National Museum, and government offices, as well as mixed-use commercial, residential, and service zones. And finally, coming on the heels of Women's Day, the European Union, in collaboration with the Institute of Gender Studies, has launched a high school program to help curb gender-based violence. A series of conversations will be held with students in selected high schools to discuss gender-based violence and women's economic empowerment.
The interventions will target primarily student leaders as we seek to engage them as advocates for ending gender-based violence and women's economic empowerment. And hopefully these students help to form the next stream of advocates that strengthen the civil society here in Jamaica.
The head of the EU delegation to Jamaica made the announcement at this week's launch of the Civil Society Boost initiative at the Jamaica Conference Centre. The European Union will be donating 500,000 euros or 68 million Jamaican dollars for building the Society of Civil Society Organizations. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.